The Nintendo Wii came out in the November of 2006 and was a bit of a surprise with a much different approach to the video game market in comparison to the PS3 and Xbox 360. It focused on motion controls, something that hadn't really been done before, or at least something that had never been done well. Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today we're going to be taking a look at everybody's favorite console, the Wii. How does it hold up over 12 years later? Quick note here, I apologize for my absolutely disgusting Wii controller. I bought this Wii for 40 bucks, and this is the controller it came with. Obviously, it's awful, so hopefully that doesn't take away too much from the video. I don't try to include it in too many shots, but yeah, it is there. Sorry about that. The Wii is a console that I think most kids who grew up in the 2000s remembers playing at some point or another, including myself. Games like Wii Sports were just so fun, and the concept of actually physically moving instead of just using a regular controller was something foreign but very, very cool. The Wii didn't do motion controls amazingly well, but it was good enough and easily the best implementation of the era, and it was the best thing about the Wii because it made it extremely accessible. It was the ultimate family console because everybody could play. There wasn't really any learning curve. You could just grab the Wiimote and swing it around. The Wii actually ended up massively outselling both the Xbox 360 and PS3, the main competitors at the time, and certainly did much better than its terrible successor in the Wii U. It sold around 101 million units, which is one of the best of all time. Wii Sports alone sold over 80 million copies, although in all fairness, that was typically because it was bundled in with the console. The design and the build of the Wii itself is actually pretty unimposing. It's a simple white box with a stand that you can set it up right with. It has a good array of ports on the back, a couple USBs, the AV multi-out connector, the DC input, and the red sensor bar port. This Wii is also backwards compatible with GameCube games, and there's 4 GameCube controller ports on the console to reflect that. This is awesome because the GameCube is awesome, and being able to play its games on the Wii is a win-win. On the front of the console, we have the disc tray that glows blue, which is kind of neat, and an SD card slot, which was an awesome inclusion, although probably one they regretted because it resulted in a lot of hacking of the Wii. There have been a few iterations of the Wii, but the original that I have here is easily the best. They eventually made one that came in different colors, but didn't have a stand or GameCube backwards compatibility for some reason, and eventually they released the monstrosity that was the Wii Mini. Yeah, to be fair, the Wii Mini was actually a really good value at only 100 bucks, coming with a controller, nunchuck, and Mario Kart, but it didn't have internet. And I mean, internet is nice on a console that was released in 2013, but okay. The Wii Mini really just didn't make sense, although I'm not gonna lie, I do dig the black and red. Interesting fact, the first Wii has built-in Wi-Fi, unlike the Xbox 360. That's right, the first Xbox 360 did not have built-in Wi-Fi, but the Wii did, the Nintendo Wii. I just find that kind of funny, especially since Xbox Live was such a big part of the Xbox. You did have an Ethernet port on the Xbox, but still, I feel like that was a bit of an oversight. The best Wii you can buy is definitely the original, as it is easily the most robust. Over time, the controllers actually did get really improved, however. While Wiimotes were super cool, they really weren't that accurate with motion, and this was fixed with the Wii Motion Plus adapters that you could just plug into your old controller. This greatly improved the accuracy and viability in the Wiimotes, so that was nice. There were a ton of different controller accessories for the Wii, and frankly, most of them sucked, but there were a couple cool things here and there, like the Wii Fit board. Honestly though, if you're going to be using a Wii nowadays, don't bother with the accessories. The one accessory you definitely will need, however, is the IR sensor bar. This goes either on top of or under your TV, and is what is used to track the Wii controller. Again, it's not amazing, but if you get one of the Wii Motion Plus adapters for your Wiimote, that will really help. Turning on the Wii, we see its UI, and it's actually something I really like. It's simple, basic, but gets the job done. And because this console is made for the everyday person who might not know a whole lot about tech, having an easy to use UI is a very good and essential thing. It also looks pretty decent, although the 480i or 480p is pretty limiting, which I'll get into in a bit. Oh, and why is all the Wii's menu music so good? Where the Wii really did well wasn't in the hardware or the somewhat odd looking controller. The games were some of the best of the last generation. Motion controls were the hook, but the actual games were what kept people coming. This might be a hot take, but I think without a doubt Wii Sports was the best game ever made for the Wii. Better than Mario Kart, better than Mario Galaxy, Wii Sports is exactly what Nintendo needed to get people buying their consoles again. It was super simple to pick up and play, and it was a blast to boot. Going over to a friend's house and playing Wii Sports was one of the funnest things you could possibly do, and it resulted in a lot of families picking it up for themselves. Plus, Wii Sports came bundled in with the Wii, so basically everybody had it. It was the best game for the Wii simply because it's exactly what Nintendo needed for it to do well. Most games didn't really use motion controls very well, but there still is a great selection out there. We have titles like the aforementioned Super Mario Galaxy, Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Xenoblade Chronicles, New Super Mario Bros., and so on and so forth. There was a seemingly unending amount of games you could buy for your Wii, and it helped to make it one of the best selling consoles of all time, even if a lot of those games weren't very good. Luckily, the good games kind of outshine the rest. However, while most of the games hold up well all these years later, the Wii really doesn't. It can't output HD video, only up to 480p, and as a result, games do not look very good, especially if you're playing on a widescreen modern TV. I don't really understand why Nintendo didn't at least allow for 720p. I know they want to keep things cheap and all, and I get the whole idea behind the Wii was experience over hardware, but it resulted in the console not aging very well and looking outdated pretty quickly. The lack of HD was fixed with the Wii U, but it was the Wii U, so who cares? The Wii U was a disaster for a ridiculous amount of reasons, and I feel like I have to mention it here. The biggest reason the Wii U was a disaster is that people didn't know what it was. I remember in middle school, people swearing up and down to me that the Wii U was just an add-on for the original Wii, and I couldn't convince them otherwise. This obviously wasn't true, but at the time Nintendo's marketing was so darn confusing, it honestly seemed like it. The Wii was just much better executed at release, and was just the better console in general. It made the first good run at motion controls, something that is still being used today, mostly with the Switch, at least to an extent, as well as virtual reality, which uses it quite extensively in almost all of its games. Playing Skyrim in VR is pretty darn cool, and motion controls are an essential part of that. The Wii might not hold up or perform that well anymore, but you can't understate how important it was to expand the gaming market and improve it tenfold. It completely outsold the more gamer-oriented PS3 and Xbox 360 because it was so easily accessible to literally anybody. Microsoft and Sony both tried to capitalize on the motion control trend with the Kinect and PlayStation Move, but neither could really capture the magic of the Wii. This truly was a unique console, and one that'll remain forever favorable in the memories of millions of people. And so if you want to take a nostalgic trip down memory lane but don't have your Wii anymore, or even want to get one for the first time, you're in luck because these consoles are dirt cheap on Craigslist and eBay. If you want to mod the Wii, something that's super easy to do, I'd recommend getting the original. Same goes for if you want to play GameCube games on it. Wii's tend to go for well under $100 on eBay.com, often around 50, which is a smoking good deal. I honestly don't see the harm in picking one up if you're interested, because I bet you're gonna have a super good time with it. And with that, I think I'm pretty much done here. I love the Wii. Although I never had one when I was younger, I just played it at my friends' houses. It was just so fun, and I have some really good memories from that. If you want to see some videos on the PS3 and Xbox 360, I'll link them in the description below, and I'd also like to hear what you guys have to say about the Wii in the comments. Did you ever have one? What was your favorite game and favorite memory? If you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. That all being said, I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and I will see you all next time.